The elders just did the best they could. Of course, my mom, she was one of the ones in charge. She was one of these people that everybody looked up to her. She took care of medical problems, like broken bones and sewed up wounds and delivered all the babies in town, all by herself. I don't know where she got that strength from, but she sure had it.
A handful of evacuees were lost in the system. George Gadeoff, a 15-year-old orphan boy from Kashiga, a tiny Aleutian village, was left to fend for himself.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I felt like I was separated, but it was kind of strange. I know I had to work, support myself, and best I can. So I worked in Juneau till I joined the service, and then I was kind of lost track of everybody after that because I was moved from place to place. If you look back on it, it really hurt a lot of people. I mean, taking people away from their environment and their homes, such as they were, such as they had, and to take to a strange place and strange people and ordered around like they were, dogs or something. I mean, it's just, that time never thought too much of it, but now you think about it, they could have done a lot better, I think.
In fact, America was doing better for its prisoners of war. Just 22 miles northwest of Thunder Bay, at a place called Excursion Inlet, 700 Nazi prisoners of war were eating regular meals, sleeping in warm beds, and receiving regular medical care. Protected by the Geneva Conventions, the prisoners' living standards were much higher than the Aleuts.
Well, it made you feel like you were nothing. I mean, we didn't do anything wrong, and yet we were treated like that. It was hard to understand.
I'm sure everybody thought with the amount of supplies and clothes we were allowed to take that we'd only be gone a few days at the most. And then pretty soon it was weeks, and then months, and then years. Nobody ever knew from day to day how much longer we'd be there. And then people started getting sick. People were getting boils. They were running rampant through the camp. And then we had eye infections. We had impetigo. It was just one thing that was so contagious. We had hair lice that was just rampant. TB was another big problem. We lost several people to TB, tuberculosis.
We lost lots of elders. I think that's why our culture just stood still for a long time. I think that the poor people from Thunder Bay, I think that they suffered the most. The things that they went through were really terrible.
Pribilof Evacuation Camp, Thunder, Alaska, October 7, 1942. I wish to submit my resignation as agent and caretaker. I feel I cannot stay and watch a people I have grown attached to. Only a miracle can prevent a tragedy of sickness and extreme suffering to them.
I don't know how the family survived that summer. Some people were sick. They really belonged in a hospital, like my sister and grandmother.
So we all got together and had a meeting, and then we wrote this letter. I'll read it. We, the people of this place, wants a better place than this to live. This place is no place for a living creature. We drink impure water and then get sick The children get skin disease, even the grown-ups.
Evacuees' protests were echoed by Territorial Attorney General Henry Roden.
I have no language at my command which can adequately describe what I saw. If I had, I'm confident you would not believe my statements. In short, the situation is shocking. I have seen some pretty tough places in my days in Alaska, but nothing to equal the situation at Funter.
Why they not take us to a better place to live and work for ourselves? Do we have to see our children suffer? We all have rights to speak for ourselves.
Federal officials responding from their warm offices in the lower 48 states refused the appeal.
Let them know we are all called upon to make sacrifices in connection with the war program. Ward T. Bauer, Director of Alaska Fisheries.
With little help, Aleuts worked to improve the camps, but all their labors could not protect them from destitution, disease, and death. During the years 1942 and 1943, 1 in 10 Aleut evacuees would die, a death rate comparable to that of American soldiers in foreign prisoner of war camps. Like the fine, cold mist filtering through the rainforest, grief settled on the camps, chilling the Aleuts to their very core.
During the evening, there's no heat. There's no heat in the house at all. There 3, 4 of us kids got together and slept in one bed with, if you're lucky, you had a blanket, one army blanket that covered you up. And if you're lucky, you had a slice of bread and a cup of hot water with sugar in it. Even when I was cold, I used to run over to my uncle's, and then he was sick with TB. His name was Blas Pankoff. He's the one that raised me on St. Paul, actually, and then so I used to run over in the morning, make sure I could light the stove for him and get him warm, and then fix him a cup of tea. And he'd tell me some stories, believe in God and do this with God on your side, and he was a religious man, so I enjoyed his life.
Blas Pankoff was buried on a moldering hillock beneath a dense canopy of spruce and fir. The ground so wet, water filled the grave before his body could be laid to rest. The Aleuts put up crosses and built a fence around the cemetery. Then they made a marker out of twigs, pointing the way to the Pribilof Islands. The twigs represented deprivation and death, but the sign itself was one of faith and hope. The Aleuts, ever determined, would one day go home.
There was a priest on the mine site, so every 2 weeks, if the weather I have a service, they had fixed up a tent as a temporary church. And he used to talk to us. He said, this won't last forever. God has a lot of love and he will help us. He said, one of these days help will be coming, and just pray that it will come soon. Otče nas i nani piše, da svjatića ime Tvoje, da pridi čarstvo Tvoje. Please, God, help us.